was on board the first ship sunk in the Normandy invasion. On June 6, 1944, the greatest naval armada in history assembled in the English Channel between Britain and France at a spot codenamed Piccadilly Circus.
When we got close to the French coast, planes were dropping bombs and all, and we knew that was the real thing then.
J.D. Mears had just turned 22. He was an engineer on the U.S. naval patrol craft PC-1261, one of 5,000 ships poised to take on Hitler's army in France.
We would give gun support in close to the landing craft and in radio communication back with the troop ships, let them know where there was least resistance, where to send the next boats in.
But when the Germans saw the approaching troops, they fired up their guns.
The captain made a remark later, said he felt like we were getting ready to get hit because he saw shells hitting on each side of the ship, and just a few seconds after that, there was a big explosion. One of them hit us.
Mears fell trying to get out of the sinking ship and dislocated his shoulder. A buddy helped him out.
And he got a hold of him in the belt. And I looked back, and the top of his head had been hit by something, was all bloody. And we went up the ladder together.
14 members of the crew disappeared in the icy waters. Mears clung to a life raft for 3 hours before he was rescued.
Well, we could see the boats landing, and we could see her once in a while. We could see the ships that were shelling from out behind us. They would hit something, and there'd be a big explosion. And one of the boys on the life raft with me was a Polish boy, and he cursed real bad. And he was cursing the Germans for everything he could think of.
Scary, I bet.
Scary, but I was praying. He was cursing, and I was praying.
Mears was among the injured taken back to England, where the military put him to work at an army hospital. But as far as the Navy and his bride back home knew, he was missing in action. While at the Army hospital, he was discovered by a friend.
And I was standing in line one day to get some rations, K-rations, and I looked over and saw this fellow. I thought I recognized him because they had shaved his head, and he was the one that went up the ladder with me on the ship. He was that he'd gotten back too.
A picture of that buddy and later reunions with his surviving crew are among Mears' war treasures. There's also a Purple Heart, and part of his pride and joy hangs in the attic.
I feel like I'm mighty lucky that to survive these 50 years and still be in good enough health that I can go back. And I feel like the Lord must have looked out for me for some reason.
And for the anniversary, J.D. Mears and his buddies will link up with the Coast Guard crew that rescued them from the icy waters of the English Channel, and together they will go to the beaches of Normandy, June 6, 1994. Larry and Miriam, we have so much more coming up in the days and weeks ahead. More memories from the front line, also from the home front, and on D-Day, we will bring you live coverage from Normandy, France, as we all mark